am not in a place that I can safely disseminate that, or wasn't in the place previously where I could safely disseminate that and make that kind of content available to people and be able to age verify and be able to, like, all of it is it's a very sketchy thing, and without the ability to age verify, to ID check, which is what this is, we're ID checking the people who are going to come in and see this evidence. I couldn't guarantee that it wasn't going to be directly handed from me, from Lex, from anybody else, directly to a minor, and that's what we wanted to avoid. But we're kind of at the point that, like, this is the way that we're going to use to minimize as much risk as possible, but it can never be an absolute zero.
Exactly. And what did I want to add to that? Oh, for those who do have valid concerns about ID, one, to even get into the server and get full access, I ID check everyone to make sure everyone's over the age of 18. The only details I need is your photo, so you can't grab any ID off the internet. So if you have your face on your TikTok page, that's an extra way I can verify you are who you say you are and you're over the age of 18. And then obviously the date of birth. The same goes for anyone who wants the role. I've seen a load of tickets come in. You're going to have to wait till I have a free moment in the live. But when it comes to the age verification with the Adora evidence, the same premise goes of we don't want this getting into the wrong hands. But anyway, I think I'm ready to read before viewing. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, go ahead. Do you want me to screenshot that and throw that up on my own green screen while you read it?
That's okay. Yeah, I think so. I'm just thinking about language, but I think it'll be okay. So, the way in which the Adora evidence is outlined is the channels that are labelled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the exact same and have been presented in 99% of the exact same way in which they were presented in the original Adora evidence server. I have written read before viewing with some information.
I don't have access to what you wrote. Sorry, but go ahead.
Sugar. Sorry. So I've written read before viewing. I really strongly urge everyone to read it. However, just in case people don't really know about this, I still think it's important to read here now. So I'll just read it as stated. Please read before viewing the Adora evidence. Please note the following evidence you're about to see has all been forwarded from the original Adora evidence server. This is to protect the identity of the person who found and compiled this evidence together. I first reviewed this evidence in the early hours of the 5th of November 2024 UK time. I was given access to the original Adora evidence server a couple of hours prior to Andy's live. If you did not see Andy's live, we outlined some of the evidence we had seen and attempted to share what we could on TikTok as to warn others of how dangerous Adora is before reporting it to the police, which was done straight after the live. The reason for Andy's live was because a few days prior, Adora tried to make a comeback on TikTok following their break after the Only Friends Dialation virtual SA. Due to Adora's recent attempts and following the same previous pattern of return, the decision was made by Andy and I to publicise the evidence in this manner and through this Discord server. This decision did not come lightly. This is to make sure Adora and those who support them, still to this very day, are deplatformed indefinitely. There will no longer be any room for, I don't know, it's just rumours, it's kink shaming, there's no evidence, etc., etc. You get the point. In my opinion, Adora is a deeply disturbed, depraved, and disgusting individual. That's about the kindest words I can manifest for them right now. They do not deserve to be platformed by any other individual or community. I'm particularly ashamed that they have once represented the LGBTQIA+ community, and I offer my most sincere apologies to those who have previously seen them as a representative. Adora does not represent us. Whilst the forwarded messages are not my words, I echo the same sentiment outlined. I cannot urge you enough to please read all the trigger warnings extensively. This goes for any piece of material that you are viewing. I'm a worse person for knowing that people like and with the same mindset of Adora exist. The world is much more bleaker now. If you wish to no longer have access to the Adora evidence and wish to have the evidence role removed, please let me know via evidence role removal request, and the channel is linked. Do not share the Adora evidence outside of this server. If you are caught doing so, you will be banned indefinitely. This is for the purpose of harm mitigation and to comply with the rules of this server. Thank you all for taking the time to read this message. I'm so deeply sorry in advance for what you are about to see, should you wish to continue from here. The Adora evidence begins from Channel 1 Introduction. Trigger warning for evidence. Explicit corn. The notification. Extreme depictions of graphic, I'm just going to say vio, grape, SA, allusions to CSAM, and visceral forms of misogyny. Also, I forgot to put, but cannibalism. And anything as gory as you can think it would be. So, are you okay with me? I'm going to turn on the evidence roll now for everyone. If you are on your mobile phone, in order to view it, you will probably have to restart your app. If you are on a laptop, you are most likely going to have to just come out of my server, click onto a different server or your messages, and then you will be able to view it. So, should we start from introduction?
Yeah, let me grab a screenshot of that.
Okay. And also, I'm just going to say for everyone, please keep the chat very lighthearted or as best as you can. Very educational, periodically. Anything good that helps the algorithm so we don't get taken down. My backups are on this screen, so should this live be taken down, we will be going to official X2 or official X3. I'll go to official X2 first. And, of course, this is for educational purposes only and awareness purposes only. This is not to send hate or harassment in anyone's direction. Wink, wink. Anyway, okay. Shall I read this all out?
Yeah.
Okay. Considerations. Let me just have a bit of water. I'm so sorry. Considerations. This is from the person who found all of this evidence. So this is the start of the evidence. I make the following marks not to downplay the severity of what is about to be presented, but to record it accurately. My intentions. I set out yesterday expecting to find a few angry incel posts on some scummy forums. I should have known that because Adora actually admitted to that, the truth was so much worse. I didn't want or expect to find any of this, and I am a significantly worse person for encountering much of it. Sorry. If you do find yourself here, do not feel in any way compelled to read any of this. 2. Regarding Tumblr blogs. When reading a Tumblr blog, bear in mind that not everything a user posts is their original content. It is, however, content that they like and have republished. For those not around in the height of Tumblr, the main thing that you did was reblog other content, including. Do you know what reblog means? Is that like reposting?
Yeah, that's it's literally reposting, except it's posted into your own blog. So yeah, you got it. That's basically it. I don't need to explain the whole details.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, just give me 1 second, guys. I just got a server notification because of the unusual joins. I just had to clear that. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, for those not around during the height of Tumblr, the main thing that you did was reblog other content, including other people's commentary, brackets, notes, or posts. when it is her speaking specifically and her posting her own content specifically, I have made the special effort to mark it. Additionally, multiple people could be the owners / managers of blogs. This is what I believe the Tyrant's Den is. A collective effort. I got repeated hits for another much darker blog called Kimmy's Meat that showed multiple images of woman, and we're going to say string from a high place, but was unable to link Adora as a collaborator. This link may be lost to the Tumblr purge, or perhaps it never existed. Adora did, however, show interest in this content. 3. Adora's age. I want to draw attention to the fact that although some events took place as early as 2014, this still put Adora at the age of her late 20s. In the interest of questions of her youth and arguments of impressionability, I have provided her date of birth. I'm not going to say the date of birth on live, you can see it in the evidence though. Essential definitions. I don't know if I can read that. I mean, I'm gonna say it the best way I can. So, gyno, a paraphilia based on the idea of cooking and eating woman. Vor, the fancy to be consumed or to consume another. Doslet is a more extreme form of vor. Snuff is a corn video, including the actual unaliving of a person. And then shorthand, non-com, which is corn content depicting non-con sexual acts. And then dubcon is corn content depicting sexual acts of dubious consent, i.e. coerced consent. Right. So, proof of link 2. So essentially, when you go there, you can see how this person has found all the usernames from one of Adora's pages. I don't know whether you want to say it on live or not.
Yeah, I can narrate how these were discovered. Oh, hello, Lex. Okay, so the person who initially discovered it, I'll actually tell you straight up what it was. It was Adora's Steam. Adora's Steam account has, if you go into Steam, you can operate under different names, different accounts that will appear in different games. So if you want to hop in Fortnite and be Loser Crew 4000 and then hop into Arma and be Knight 420, something like that, you'd be able to click a drop-down box and it'll present all different names that you go by, all your different aliases, which is how the person who did all of this research back in November, I think it was, found all of, I want to block out that right there, all of these different usernames. If you want to see the full list of names, and that includes, I'm not going to go through everything to show the proof of link. If you want to see all of that, join Lexa's server, get approved. But yes, it was discovered through Steam.
Should we go to 3? Okay. I've got a couple that I want to... Oh wait, I'm thinking of forum. Okay. So essentially, the person, they have outlined it in a very understandable way in terms of the initial findings. There's a couple things in particular here that is some of the most damning things.
There's nothing that I can actually throw up that's going to be safe for my account to keep up in this page. So I can't throw up a picture for this.
Underage Mills, if you've got it.
Yeah, I can do that one.
So, in terms of like, I guess this connects back to linking, but one of the things that was most damning, if you guys are on that page, you'll be able to see what username it connects to. But Adora is the person at the top. Oh shit, it's cropped. But Adora is the person at the top, who's asking, I guess, some kind of content maker or artist, what do you think about underage meals?
Meals in this case is people. Dulcet, again, as a reminder, is a specifically illicit art form, question mark?
I wouldn't call that shit art.
Listen, I don't have a different thing to call it.
We're going to call it art form. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's referring to people.
Yeah. So Adora asks the question, what do you think about underage meals? The artist responds with, I will never do underage, even if the model is clearly 18. The story will always be 18 plus as well. Another person replied to the artist who was asked that question and said what she said, Anon, i.e. Adora, who asked me the same thing. So Adora was actively asking several different artists on Tumblr about content being created of depicting underage quote-unquote meals. So when the person, after their initial findings of kind of figuring out the link of these usernames to Adora, one of the things they did was to try and get a feel for the forum that Adora, from the findings, was most active on, because they were active on it for like over a decade, right? 10 to 15 years, if I'm correct.
Some of this content, to my understanding, features all the way back to 2014. That's as far back as we actually collected. But obviously that's literally because the person who researched it just stopped at a certain point.
Yeah. So the person who found it, they wanted to check what the top user posts were. These aren't posted by Adora. However, you can see the top posts and get a feel for what the kind of material is on the forum that is called Doslet Girls. And then you can see the notable tags that are nauseating enough without me reading them to you all. There was even depictions, not in the screenshot, but of Yahtzee, mass, word I can't say, race play, and indigenous tribes with quote-unquote meaty preferences, and gang grape.
To be clear, this is a catalog of all content found on this website. This isn't not all of this. I didn't find anything specific around like native anything related to anything Adora posted. This is just the kind of environment that Adora placed themselves in.
Yes. The only thing I would say to that is there was, if I'm correct, in some captions or one of the stories, stuff to do with slavery.
Yes, there's a lot of that. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of that. And then obviously the person who found this has put what the KINK community thinks of these kinds of things to try and make it a bit better understandable. And obviously you will see, if you focus on the impassable reaches, the majority of the content that Adora is interested in is in or past the impassable reaches.
Babe, if there's anything you want me to throw up during this, just give me the heads up. I can't throw up most of this because anything that says anything beyond the impassable reach cannot be shown on TikTok. But any images, any censored anything, I could do a quick censorship just to let you know.
Could you quickly censor bottom of initial findings? the one about Adora getting people into this. If it's possible to, there's a couple words that would need to be censored, but that one would be right. So what I've asked Andy to get is Adora is actively getting people into the same things that they were into because of the popularity of their blog or posts on the forums, which I don't know what's worse, being into it or getting other people into it, or just all of it is absolutely disgusting, but nonetheless. But yeah, and so the person found a person asking what other dulcet blogs are there. I don't know besides yours and someone else's, and then other people have suggested Adora's ones, which were deactivated. But the person says that Adora's one in particular got them into the fetish in the first place. And then I'm going to wait for Andy to get that, and then I'm going to move to forum posts. If you are on forum posts, it is done in reverse chronological order. I'm very sorry if you're just finding out what the name Jessie means. I'm going to go from the very top of the page. If you are waiting for your ticket to be approved, because I've had a lot come through since the start of the live, I will be getting to them as soon as possible, or any free moments I have during the live to get them approved. Please just make sure you send your ID.
Did you wait? I caught that just there at the end. Were you mentioning where Adora got the name?
Oh, because it's at when you first click on forum posts, it's the first thing is the name Jessie. I'll say that at the end, but yeah, okay. It's the name Jessie.
Okay. I thought you were getting into that already.
No. I was just scrolling to the top.
But yeah, this is an anonymous user who's asking about more blogs related to dulcet content, and this helpful user basically says that there's not too many, but specifically names one of the account names that Adora uses. So this would directly lead to Adora's Tumblr, which is called Kitty and then a word, and that's where they're basically talking about they are the first one that got me into this stuff. So Adora is actively opening the gateway for these people. Sorry, go ahead, Lex.
No, you're good. Sorry, just closing a ticket. Right, so let me go. So now I'm on to forum posts, and I'm at the very top of the page. The very top of the page is just showing a load of different posts that either I think that Adora had liked, because they've been marked, I believe, and their user is black for you guys. So if you cross-reference that to proof of link clean, you'll see it is the same username. Now, if we scroll, proof 1, the user came out as a trans lesbian. And again, we're going in reverse chronological order. So December 12th, 2021. Adora writes, "Hey everybody, can't believe I've already been here a decade. I've changed so much over the last 10 years, but my fantasies have not. LOL laughing emoji. The biggest change by far is that I no longer feel the need to remain in the closet. I am an out and proud transgender lesbian. I started hormones about 6 months ago. Brackets, I have boobs now and intend to transition surgically as well, finances permitting." And that was edited in 2022, April 16th as well. Since the username is, you can also reference that the username, the same one edited by, is also Adora in proof of clean link. Proof 2, she used her own name in her writings, So, The Big Game, starring Jesse, brackets me, exclamation mark. Was that Peachy just now? Who did that? Sorry. Peachy, do me a favour, at me, and I'll get you added straight away. 1 second. Doodaloo. Sorry, guys. There we go. So yeah, used her own name. Proof 3, she advertised her Tumblr blog with the username, which you would have already seen on Proof of Clean link, as previously linked. So June 1st, 2014. The username is there, and then I'm a big fan of captions because of their bite-sized visual appeal. Full-blown stories are awesome too, but hey, I have a short attention span. Check out my Tumblr page here, and then it's the same Tumblr page that we have seen earlier, showing where that question was asked of what do you think of underage males. Proof 4, more linked Tumblr blogs advertised in addition to their Hello Kitty, aka Kitty, CUNT persona, as linked in Proof of Link 2 and 3 initial findings. These blogs are also presented in Channel 5 Tumblr posts. So the 12th of December 2016. So Adora writes, so on both of my blogs, the 2 Tumblr blogs, I've posted 3 images of myself under the me tag. I figured it might be fun to see what captions people came up with for them. You don't have to create the full image, just send me the text and tell me what image it's for, and I'll post every one I like, then a vote will be held for the winner. The images are kind of crappy, I admit, and there's no ramen noodles, but I'm sorry, some of the ways I'm going to be censoring my language is going to sound ridiculous. There's no ramen noodles, but I figure it might be fun to see what people want to do with my body. Proof 5, Adora's final post. Their final post on the forum was made on December 9th, 2023, arguably at the height of their career before Reddit. Before the Reddit. What does this say? That they never stopped being into this type of corn. They just realised how terrible it would be if people found out this is how they viewed women, children, and themselves. They didn't come to a feminist realisation like they proclaimed, but I'll let their posts speak for themselves. In regards to them asking for their posts to be deleted, as you will see, some were, but some weren't. I collected everything still available that was a main thread posted by Adora themselves. My account had limited permissions, so I had to manually search. I couldn't search them up by name, so I've not captured any of their replies they made to other people's content. And so, give me a second. And so Adora makes a post saying, please delete my profile, all my posts if possible, thank you. This forum will be missed, but it's time to move on. And then a load of people replying, saying, sorry to see you go, blah, blah, blah. So then this is when we get to the reverse, my bad from before saying we were going from reverse chronological. This is where we go from the beginning of the forum post to, so the most recent to then the earliest. I've got 2 in mind that I think are important to go through. Have you got any you want to jump to?
You're just anywhere or something specific?
Yeah, we'll do anywhere, and we can say the date for those who see it. And then whilst you're going through it, I'm gonna thingy some more tickets. The ones that I think particularly are important to go through is Soup, Her Duty, and the toy truck one. Off the top of my head.
All of those are valid. Do you want to do stories first, or do you want to do examples of images before we get into anything long form?
Let's do images.
Okay, I have one already saved that I wanted to throw
Cool.
up.
I'm gonna
It's
meet
one
up.
I highlighted. So this is one that I highlighted last time. It's going to be hard to visibly see, but I will read it out to you. This black box here is covering an image of two women who are not having a good time. You will be able to see the uncensored images, all the uncensored reports. Everything in Lex's server is uncensored. This is just for TikTok purposes that were censored. They are bound to the wall. And they are... God, this is so difficult to describe. They are bare.
There's nothing
barcodes. Yeah, nothing on. They have barcodes, like above their reproductive organs. Essentially, it's supposed to represent a really harsh cattle. The question being posed, are women even human? The main difference between humans and animals is civilization. Since it's nearly exclusively men who make up civilization, ask yourself, are women really human? In the long cultural and civilizational history, women have been near... God, I can't even read all these words without getting a flag. Women lack value, despite being privileged. They hardly ever composed. Sorry, I'm reading it off like this. I think it's notable works or builds. Nor did they build skyscrapers or satellites. Even today, nearly everything women have accomplished has been with the help of men. Their main contribution to culture remains their you-know-what. Their main contribution to civilization remains their you-know-what. Their main contribution to society remains you-know-what. Thus, it's a legitimate question. Are women human? And at what ratio? 3% human? 97% animal? I'm done reading because that's already going to get me flagged up enough. This is for educational purposes. This is for alerting the community to a danger. This is not for civil consumption.
I'm just finishing one ticket. Give me 1 second. Okay. I have about 20 more to do, but 10 more people have been added. Right, let me go back to it. Oh.
I can't leave that one up long.
Yeah.
That was the one that was lovingly titled, Everything About is Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Written, I think, really important to point out, you said this, written from the perspective of someone who's AFAB, whereas at the time of this being shared, Adora was pre-Adora.
Adora
did not know they were Adora.
Knew. Though this is written from the perspective of somebody saying that they enjoy being violated, and it's very, very descriptive, extremely explicit and descriptive. From the perspective of an AFAB person, and Adora at the time that this was shared had not known that they were trans, did not come out. This was, to Adora's perspective at the time, a incel male who just really appreciated how women were being referred to in this text.
The one thing I want to point out in the very first sentence, because it really, I think it perfectly encapsulates how vulgar the light in which Adora views anyone who is a woman or AFAB or femme presenting. So, and I quote, "It's such a passionate action to completely disregard a CUNT's person." So completely taking away the personhood and only seeing them as what is between their legs. And then it goes on and on. Anyway. I want to go to we can't put it on screen, but I want to just point out the favourites and the mother and daughter thing.
Yeah, before you do that, I want to reiterate once again, all of this content is extreme. Most of this content is very graphic. And if you, A, need to verify for yourself that this content that we're describing exists in the way that we're describing it, or B, want to be able to look at how this information was discovered and be able to verify for the fact that this is Adora and not just a rumor, join Lex's server, get your ID approved, and come see it for yourself. I encourage you to at this point. Although, of course, genuinely, if you don't have the stomach for it, don't feel like you need to.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know who Adora is, stop asking.
Yeah.
Sit back, enjoy a tea that has no impact on your life.
Yeah. Also, respectfully, tap the screen, share the live, comment very educational, do all the good things, please. Keep the chat light. I can't find the mother and daughters one. I might have not forwarded it. Do you know where it is? The mothers should thingy, daughters. I might have lost that one. I might have to quickly go on my phone to find it. But I'm going to go, whilst Andy's having a check, I'm going to, just in terms of Adora's Tumblr page, the username, and then their favourites. So the reason as to why I want to put a focus on this and what I'm at the moment is Tumblr posts. Just while we're going through some pictures and then going back to the forum posts, as they're a lot more long form, is because what is so incredibly worrying about this content, about this interest, is the fact that there is proof with this post. It's about the middle of the page when you scroll up. It's the username Kitty word, I can't say, favourites, with a picture of the chest. And this is proof that Adora was actualising their fantasies. You're good, go ahead.
You said, what's the Discord link in Lex's bio? You said that you wanted a mother and daughter one, not like a daddy and daughter one?
No, I know what you're referencing. That's forum. There's a photo where I might have forgotten to add it to the server. There is a photo. If not, I'll quickly go and find it. But it was about mother doing something unspeakable to the daughter and saying mother should do this, that Adora had reposted. And I think I may have skipped that accidentally.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking in the old server. Let me see if I find it.
I think I might have uploaded it. If you put it in there, I'll forward it quickly. But yeah, sorry. If you go to the Kitty word favourites and read, I cannot read this. If you read the post made by Adora, you will see that there is proof of actualising and completing fantasies in real life. And so what is incredibly worrying to me is where is the line in comparison to the other things that Adora is into. That is increasingly worrying. This is a dangerous, dangerous person. This is why we have wanted to put the evidence out here in this way, because there is no room for change or sorry or I don't know the other words, but there is no room for that. There is no more excuses to platform someone like this. And so, again, very damning. I'm just trying to see if I can find the thing that I was talking about. I might have to quickly get it on my phone. So bear with me. Oh my god, what? Oh, sorry. I thought my live just said live ended on my other phone. Okay. Oh. Oh, Andy, it might have dropped you because of the time it took. Give me a second, chat, so I can find what I'm talking about. It did automatically kick Andy. I'll invite her back. I'm just trying to find the thing that we were talking about. Found it. I'm going to quickly get this added to the server. Sorry guys, it's the one thing I forgot to do. Give me 2 minutes. Whilst we're taking this moment, please comment very educational and like the live. Okay. 1 second. I found it now. I'm going to put it in Tumblr posts as the most recent one. Okay, so the one going into Tumblr posts now at the very bottom of the page you'll be able to see, but that is what Adora, I believe, I don't know how it works on Tumblr, whether you've reposted so it comes up on your page or liked the content so it comes up on your page. Either way, that is the other things that Adora was interested in. Oh, there we go. Sorry, Andy. Okay.
Hey, sorry, I think I was away from the screen too long.
It's
I couldn't
okay.
know what you were looking for.
I found it. It was, it's because I had to crop the other one. So it's in the bottom of Tumblr posts now in the server, and I've added it to the original one. But so that is one of the things. Do you want to go through any of the captions that Adora created? Like the one that particularly gave you nightmares? The one that we spoke about?
I will. Yeah, I'll grab a screenshot and edit real quick so I can throw out some captions.
Mm-hmm. Is Jessica here? Please no. Please no. Let's not. By the way, thank you all for being patient. As I'm doing the tickets, one of the reasons as it's taking a bit longer is because I'm the only one doing them, obviously, just because of the purposes of the ID. I think it's better that way. Ticket number 62, you have not sent me ID, send it or I'm going to close it. Ticket number 63, need your ID please or I'm going to close it. Okay. Just bear with us as we wait for Andy. Doodaloo. I keep hiccuping because I'm nervous. Anyway, 3,000 of them, help. That's diabolical. Sing to me. I can't sing. I can't sing, help. Where's Echo when you need that song played? Diabolical work. Oh, Andy dropped. Not meow meow. This is not the moment for meow meow. Stop. Help. I've seen, from going through this evidence, I've seen enough of meow meow recently. I do not need any more of that. Please, no thank you. Right. Okay.
Okay, so it's not going to let me throw up individual images, but I can read out a general consensus that you'll see among the tags, which probably is easier than just going through and censoring out all of it. A common one is debreasting. A common one is non-con or semi-con. Brother, sister. There is a lot of the time it's tagged with the dulcet tag. Spit roasting is a common tag. Hanging out, it's the best way I can put that, is a common tag that you'll find among these posts. So this is... Oh, go ahead.
I just want to, I don't think it was as common, but I just have to put it out there. Just cannibally things was one of them.
Just can't... Yeah, so there's one specific image that is tagged just cannibally things, and it is a image that legitimately kept me up at night. I could not sleep for several days. It's just very... Like, it leaves a lot of there's some of these images leave a lot to be desired as to knowing the conditions that brought around the existence of these images. I do not know any of these people, keeping in mind that a lot of this is 10 years ago, so a lot of this is, some of it at least, is people who would be featured in corn movies. So the images are meant to be disseminated to an adult audience that just have text put over them, but some of them look like they're taken on low quality cameras. We have no idea who these individuals are. The person the person that's kind of the target of the picture does not look happy. And so some of these images, like I said, leave a lot to be desired in knowing whether or not everything's above board. That image, the image that's at the top of the Tumblr post ones, that's captioned just cannibally things, has made me very unhappy and has given me many a nightmare. Above board, I'm being very careful. Essentially, consensual corn versus, not. There are artistic depictions that we cannot show. An image of a cartoon image. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, just really quickly. Anyone who has been given a role, if you cannot see the channels, just restart your phone and reopen the app. Not restart your phone, but close the app and reopen it. If you're on a laptop, just click on another server and go back onto mine. Once you get the role, you'll be able to view it. If you are struggling with the instructions of how to get your ticket get verified for the evidence, put a message in evidence verification help. I've also put in the announcements a message in regards to this live, so you can go to the announcements where everything is linked via the channels there as well. But yeah, just read the instructions very clearly on evidence verification. And then it should be, it's very simple, it's very easy to do. Once you've sent the form, send a picture of the ID with just the date of birth and picture showing. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, so there's several cartoon images or images featuring life-sized dolls that are not intact. One of the cartoons is very graphic and depicts somebody begging for things to stop. One of the images features somebody who is bound and in the middle of what appears to be a consensual act, but very clearly by the images or by the depiction of the drawing, is not meant to be able to repeat the act. Yeah, so there's going to be cartoons, like, these are things that we can't show. I'm trying to give you a quick run through so that if you don't want to show your ID or you don't want to go out of your way to see it and you want the idea again, that's the idea. Like, this is not fun. And we haven't even gotten to Jessica 3000.
Should we go to, do you want to go through any of the captions of the, like on the Tumblr posts in terms of what Adora was writing, or do you want to go to the long form forums?
Yeah, let's get to the long form. I think I summarized enough of that. We'll save the Jessica 3000 for the end. For those who want to know where Adora got the haircut, allegedly, and where Adora got the name, not allegedly. We'll save that for the end.
Sorry, I'm just writing down. Okay. Right. I've got about 20 odd more tickets to do, so bear with, guys. Again, if you're having issues with viewing it, but you have the role, please restart your app. It is nothing on my end at that point. It's something on your end. So just hard close the app and restart it. Right. So we are going to forum posts, number 4. Let's start with Toy Truck. Do you know what date Toy Truck is?
No, last time I did this, one of my mods censored a bunch of these stories, so I'm seeing if I have a censored version I can throw up.
Okay. Bear with us, guys. This is a decade's worth of stuff, so it's just taking a moment. Oh, one thing, whilst we are looking for that, I just want to point out August 25th, 2017. More proof Adora was redistributing content. First comments remind the person of the image that was the frozen one. The caption of the image that isn't viewable anymore, but Adora was reposting, states, even without a head, it still has 3 holes, so why not get rid of it? There's other things I can't say. There. And then August 25th, 2017.
I don't have this specific one censored. And I know that these stories will require a lot of censoring, so I can't throw up this one. But if you want to give a quick reading and overview, I encourage you to do so. I'll save a couple others.
Yeah, so, okay, so we're going to go to April 23rd, 2017 on forum posts, so number 4 channel. So you're going to have to scroll up quite a bit. It's very bad, so just trigger warnings, implied underage, forced, self-unaliving, shit-cessed, rape, abuse, trauma, violence. In short, so that is the moment. If this is going to get too much for you, please feel free to take a moment and leave.
I would encourage you, by the way, to do a quick summary of the plot, because you're obviously not going to be able to do the entire story. So do a quick summary of the plot, and then make sure as you're reading it, you're skipping around words,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the summary of the story is Adora writes a story where an implied child is grapefruit by her father, and then before being told to go to the woods. Oh, sorry. So yeah, implied child, are worded by father, and then being told to go to the woods and self-unalive. And then the character does do this in the story. So this is all of Adora's writing. Daughter, crying in pain. Thank you for blank, my blank, daddy. Father, blank in his daughter's blank. You spilled some of my blank on the couch, bitch. Lick it up before it stains. Daughter, quickly and fearfully. Yes, daddy, I'm sorry, daddy. Licks up her father's blank. Thank you for letting me taste your blank, daddy. I hope you found my blank pleasing, daddy. Father, your blank is as loose as your blank, bitch. You're of no use to me anymore. Daughter, terrified and devastated. I'm sorry, daddy. Maybe if you used my blank for a bit instead of my blank. Father, bitch, you're useless. If a single one of your blank isn't useful. Picks up hunting poker off of the end table. It's time for you to...
I think we're good here. I think we're good here.
Yeah.
I get the point. Enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is a one of Adora's stories. This one is not AI written. This is straight off the dome. What?
Fictional characters.
These are fictional characters, not based on anybody, but this is a very clear... Like, I don't think you have any more imagination that's needed. The obvious implications are obvious. I'm throwing this up and kind of dancing in front of it so that you can see that the text does exist, but you're not going to get a good, clean read of it because TikTok's not going to get a good clean of it. Also, I would really encourage you to get a raw sugar strawberry oat milk detangler. It's really great for your hair if you have any knots. Super cheap. I use it every now and again. It's super helpful. You should check it out. See if TikTok Shop has a detangler. Yeah, it's not terribly expensive.
Whilst we are near that post, oh, actually no, we're saving that to the end. I'm not going to talk about it on live. I'm just going to point everyone's attention to April 17th, 2015. Along the same lines of what we've just gone to, or what we've just read, in terms of the implications of who is involved in the story and their ages in particular.
I don't know if this is the story that you're referring to. This one's like an AI generator one. Has to do with a lesbian.
I don't think... Is that her duty? No.
This is not
Soup.
her duty. It is brain... Yes. This
Do you want to go to Soup?
Do you want to... Yeah, let's go to Soup.
Do you know the date?
January 1st, 2021.
Can I do one thing first?
At least that's when it was posted. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to draw to something first. Just in terms of, because people will be scrolling down. April 24th, 2015, Adora elicits a conversation about the ethics of CSAM amongst the forum. Members are asking if a site is down that was taken down because people post that content there. So that one is April 24th, 2015. And then...
That image is hard to display. It is and is very difficult to see on your phone. If you're scrolling through, it's the really long and thin image. It's easier to view on a desktop.
Yeah, you have to zoom and scroll to actually read it. Sorry, what was the date again?
Because I'm blocking most of it, and most of it's censored. Soup. It should be January 1st, 2021. At least that's when it was posted. I'm not sure when the person who researched it actually marked it. I grabbed it for a quick save because it was one of the censored things from last time I held a live like this.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find it and I can't. My mind. Oh, where the fuck is it?
While you're looking for it, I'm gonna
found
start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna start chipping away just a little bit here. This is a newly 18-year-old lesbian that's being depicted as being brought to a club to celebrate her 18th birthday, where she is met with a man. I'm not going to go through all of it. I am going to highlight the last part of the text because my own personal Discord server had memes about it for literally months after the fact because it's so fucking wildly stupid. So is met with this man. Together, the father and the man have their way, and then slowly start removing bits and placing it into what is essentially a giant pot. So as each action occurs, there's a... if you know what tree painting is, that's pretty close to what's being depicted here. A removal of a part of the skull. Tree painting is typically like a cultural thing. Let's not get into all that. But it's instead used as an access. After that, the rest of this freshly 18-year-old lesbian who's been essayed by two adults is thrown into the pot. And at the bottom, this is written in second person, so all of this is being depicted to you. You are the reader. And at the bottom, you can barely see it, but the last sentence is, "You are now soup." You are now soup. You are now soup. It's as messed up as it is. I get a lot of... It's like the one point where it's so ridiculous that you just have to laugh. You are now soup. Okay, I'll take this one down now.
Ticket 79, please send your ID. Right, give me 1 second. I wanna talk on her duty. Do you have any of it edited? I think that is very telling in particular. Let me find it. Bear with me a second, everyone.
No, those that one I do not have censored.
Okay.
At that point, I told Tabby to stop censoring them because we'd had enough.
No worries.
But
just
yeah,
found it. Okay, so I'm not going to be reading any of this one. It took me... I read it the other day when putting this all in the server. And it takes a long time. It is July 3rd, 2014. The trigger warnings for this are shitcest, dubcon, DA, grape, cannibalism, infantilization, misogyny, forced lesbian acts, torture, evisceration, voyeurism, and necrophilia. Very educational in the chat, please. Adora writes a story where a society of women exist to be used by men to have coitus with and be eaten. A father can purchase exclusive rights to his daughter, and in some cases buy her freedom from servitude. The female character is a lesbian, regularly forced to have coitus with the father and brother. Teasing freedom, the father takes his daughter to a factory where she is essayed, eviscerated, but her consciousness is kept intact to become a living coitus doll as a birthday gift for her brother. Adora themselves identifies as a lesbian, and again, we have touched on before the fact that the way in which they view women, feminine presenting people, AFAB people, etc. To then read how they write about a woman who is a lesbian, it is absolutely disgusting. It is very bad, as is all the material, but I will say personally, very hard read as a lesbian. Yeah, I don't really... What other words can I say for it? It's
really
just, it's absolutely disgusting.
This is not, so like, there's a weird point that I find in some of this. I'm gonna segue over to the name and the hair, if you don't mind. There's a weird point, and the last story, a story that I don't have up. Give me just a moment, I'm gonna look at something. Whatever you sent me, I can't see it. Okay, so there's a story called The Big Game. I'm not going to go into the plot. I don't need to. You have enough understanding. Just understand it is one of those things where the age of the character is in question, and all of the characters are supposed to be in high school. The actual title to The Big Game is actually The Big Game starring Jesse. And then in parentheses, Adora writes, me.
See, they don't know that was Jesse.
Like, that is the name that Adora went by when they first started on this app. So while everybody knew them as Adora this entire time, Mel and Co. for almost the entire duration of Adora's time on this app has known Adora privately as Jessie. On top of that, the reason for that, so what you're going to find as part of a lot of these stories is, as was previously mentioned, like spit roasting, a pretty typical way for cooking, except for with this, it has to do with obviously like human characters who are alive. And it is with a device that is named the Jessica 3000. I cannot show you an image of what that looks like. But it is a device that is meant to be held over a burning area, so to cook the exterior, and then for the bar that goes through, spit roasting, to also be heated. The name is not a coincidence. That is, yeah, that's a very specific device and a very specific name for that device. And Adora continues to kind of feature themselves in their art. There's there's a very... Okay, so Adora's
a clear
Tumblr
desire
is called,
to have it happen to them.
Adora's Tumblr was called Kitty, CUNT. And then on an introductory post, Adora features somebody who is very clearly not Adora, who is has nothing on, but one noticeable feature about this introductory photo is that you'll notice that she has what is essentially the Adora classic haircut. I cannot confirm for 100% fact that Adora is getting this haircut to continue to emulate this image. But given that Adora has held on to this for a long time, Adora said that they were writing a book about this for the past 8 years, and that was 7 years ago that they wrote that. These are long-term obsessions, and Adora's featuring themselves in their own content is not new. And I personally have always wondered why that specific choice of haircut, with no alteration. The only thing different is the color. And it is my personal inductive reasoning that haircut is, in the same way as the name, a featured part of the experience for Adora. This is, in my opinion, a really, really, really alarmingly misogynistic individual. This is not a KINK thing. This is not there are communities that are built up, BDSM, all kinds of communities built up of KINK. And a heavy part that's featured in all of this is consent. Consent. These women who are in the normal images, the normal corn images, that are clearly taken for the intended purpose of distribution and consumption to adult audiences, have no consent behind the weird words that have been put on those images. I cannot confirm 100% the consent of all of the women who are featured in those images. These stories feature and keep in mind, CNC to me, I get it. That's not what this is. This is not CNC. This is explicitly non-con. This is explicitly somebody is in misery, does not want this, has somebody saying, please stop, in one of the images, not CNC. This features unaliving, dismemberment. The words can go on. Every trigger warning possible is applied to this. And this is something that Adora enjoyed in the privacy of their own home, reproduced and shared, and became a well-known figure in these spaces, those specific spaces.
And got people into it. And got people into it.
It's weird, and it's misogynistic. It's not what we as a community need for an advocate. There is nothing. I want to be clear. Most of this content does not border on an illegality thing. It's frankly just the very clear art of an addled mind, not somebody we needed as an advocate. Some of the content definitely starts veering into go to jail, go to therapy, then go to jail, go to therapy, then build a jail on top of the therapy. But some of this content is not something you can hem Adora up in court. This is explicitly just not what we want as an advocate, what we want as a spokesman for our community. Sorry, go ahead, Lex.
You're good. Adora, this is in 3 initial findings. 2014, July 16th. There's nothing wrong with blank corn so long as it's fantasy. I'm the kind of person who fantasizes about blank, 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 but it's just a fantasy. I know many guys who fantasize about doing this to women, but never would in real life because they're afraid of getting in trouble. They wouldn't in real life, not because they're afraid of getting in trouble, but because they respect women. Guru slash Adora again. Guru slash Dulcet is a harmless fetish. There's nothing wrong with fantasizing about such things at all. There is something wrong with actually doing these things. Most people who enjoy photos such as this are perfectly normal people who know where to draw the line. But you didn't. You didn't, because we've seen it from what happened with the Only Friends. We have seen, if you go to additional findings and what you're into on your profile, your dating profile, we can look at when you harassed your co-worker and made a post on it. We can look at the stories you've written about these things and wanting to actualize these things, not only for yourself, but on others. So, no.
You crossed it into real life. Like,
yeah, you do not know where to draw the fucking line. One of the stories is about
somebody who's pregnant. Somebody that one of these stories. One of these posts.
No. That was the coworker.
Okay. There's no line. You lost the line. The line was that way, out the door. Goodbye.
Yeah. There is no space for it's just drama, or it's just rumors, or you didn't know, or it's KINK shaming. We're not doing that anymore. It's in front of you. If you choose to bury your head in the sand and dismiss the evidence, then in my personal opinion, and this is not to shame those who are choosing not to view it for their own sake of mind, I'm talking about the people who still platform or support Adora. If you choose to ignore the evidence and bury your head in the sand, then please go in the prison cell with them. You are not an advocate either. You are not a representative either. I truly meant it when I said I am deeply ashamed that this person was once a representative. They do not represent us as a community. We are far better than whatever the fuck this is. Far better. This is a very deplorable and depraved individual. And I hope after today, after Andy and I have taken such an extreme measure to get this out there, to stop the platforming of Adora, because they have followed the same pattern they did last time before holding alive. This is in hopes that it doesn't get to that point and they can just bugger off from the app forever. At the very least.
To answer questions as people are asking, somebody asked me to put up a background image of Adora saying that she's trying to come back. I want to be very clear about my messaging here. I don't have an image to throw up. Adora has declared publicly, openly, that they have no intention of coming back. However, Adora is also going on multiple panels in comment sections of different lives and claiming that everything I said in my last live are all rumors. All of this in conjunction with Adora's old speeches back in the day when the first Reddit had come out about her, about how if you haven't seen Adora do it yourself, maybe you don't believe it, maybe think it's a rumor. I'm going to accept that as Adora's attempting at denying it. And I, at this point, have to not only make sure that the evidence is viewable by people, which is why I have worked with Lex to make sure that it is in a place that it can be found. I did not have the means to facilitate that previously, but also so that when you go through Lex's server, link in Lex's bio, that you will be able to see the different usernames and the through lines, the connections that were made in order to understand that these are where Adora is, what posts belong to Adora, what usernames. You will be able to see the usernames yourself. You'll be able to see the through lines to finding the old profiles. And some of it, the stuff that Adora hasn't taken down, you will be able to replicate yourself and be able to view on your own thing. This is now, I am putting the evidence in your hands so that if when Adora tries to come back, you have the ammunition yourself so that Lex and I don't have to hop on a live and do this again.
If you don't mind checking Discord, Andy, I've sent you an image of what Adora posted, I believe a couple days ago this week. If you want to pop it on screen.
This is after Adora popped up on the live, of Sloane's live, and it started a whole like feud in Sloane's comment sections. So yeah, this is Adora saying that they have no intention of coming back, but the fact is that if they wanted to watch lives, hell, if they wanted to even pop up on a panel and give somebody some love, they don't need to continue to activate this main account. They don't need to continue to delete it, deactivate it, and then wait until just about the 30 days and then turn it back on. And honestly, unfortunately, I'm not a big I'm not a big fan of brigading, but I'm personally going to have issue with anybody who chooses to, at this point in time, with the education that is being freely given out, the evidence that is being freely given out, continue to associate with Adora. I'm going to have those issues. Adora, this is going to be the only time that I directly acknowledge you. Your presence is not a complimentary one to these people. Anytime that you pop up into these lives, you are only bringing pain to them, whether they support you or not. So maybe think about using a different account.
Also, just in the essence of directly addressing them, they blocked me on this account, so maybe they're watching on another. You are a coward. They did last time. You are a coward. I am Jewish. Jews don't believe in a hell, but I sure as hell wish we did for you. You are not someone who is safe for the general public, and I hope you get what's coming to you. I truly do. I truly do.
A small little side tangent, little side piece here. This is a perfect example of the community. Trans women, lesbian, different identities. We all commingle wherever. Many people in the comments. Queer. All of us standing up, calling out behavior that we have an issue with.
Don't let Adora be our
defending our own
representative.
community.
Yeah.
Adora is not our representative. This is not somebody who stands for our community. This is somebody who barely even, when Adora was on the app, could fairly represent the community in a debate. Being real. Also, I did see a few people saying that Adora popped up on Mel's panel. To my understanding, that has not happened recently. Hasn't occurred.
Comments, apparently.
Yeah, if Mel knew that Adora was there and let Adora stay there, I'd have issue with that. But until you can confirm that Adora or that Mel knew and was okay and letting Adora chill, let people like Cowheads and Jelly Donuts come in so that they themselves can come in and view the content. Because the most important thing is as many people get eyes on this as possible. Scuba Steve, what is the relevancy of that? Like, genuinely, if y'all are asking irrelevant questions like that, I'm like, I don't know why you're here. There is no room on this app, in my opinion, for somebody like Adora.
For the people asking a place to watch the live later, I will put the recording on my YouTube, which isn't in my link tree. I'll find a way to add it. It's the same username as my TikTok one. Or it was linked in whatever server you come from, it was linked in that announcement, or if you came from Reddit, it's also linked in the posts there.
I'm just a quick summary. I'm going to remind you all, that this isn't just artistic depictions, drawings of women. This is real women being depicted in certain lights, and some of it features content of questionable or dubious age, and some of the content found features a very deliberate choice to inquire or be in proximity to places that feature underage content.
Yes, I'm still verifying tickets. I'm the only one who has access to them, hence for the wait. I am about 15 behind. So I will be getting to people.
I'm not going to say, like, this is, like, I'm not even cool with Melanco. Like, I'm not going to say that, like, following an account is, like, a direct, like, is, like, a directly condoning, actions or a person. I have followed plenty of people that I don't get along with. I think I, right now, follow plenty of people that I don't get along with, merely because I'm looking out personally, whether that's for content that I would need to deal with in the future or for certain drama. So I, like, unless they are explicitly defending Adora, I'm not, like, that's shaky at best. That's not excuses. I'm just not in the business of making accusations without evidence. If you got evidence, I'll take that.
Yeah. If anyone has the screenshot of saying about Adora being in Mel's live, join the server. Send it to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Andy, final thoughts? Or anything else
I'm
you want to
gonna
go
go... No, honestly, I'm just gonna kind of go to that wall right there and just kind of bump my head against it a couple times after I'm done here.
Same. I think I'm gonna not sleep for a month again.
Yeah.
Or not be able to look at meat. Which is unfortunately what happened. You know, this was not fun for either of us to come back to. This really impacted everyone who originally saw this. It impacted all of us. And I think, like, a lot of us are desensitized, but this was worse than what a lot of our worst thoughts of what it could be. So, for those who are viewing the material, please take care of yourselves. Reach out to people, drink water, eat food, do whatever you have to do. Sorry, I cut in on what you were saying. My apologies.
No, I'm good. I'm done. Genuinely, go take care of yourselves. Go drink water. Go hold a live about drama and get yourself some clout, I guess. I don't care. I'm gonna log off for the day. I'm done. If anybody needs to read me, actually, hold on. Give me just a moment.
And again, for those sending tickets, sorry, just one quick thing. For those who are sending tickets without ID, I will close your tickets if I don't see ID there. So please send them. Don't make me have to tag you like loads of times. It's really fucking annoying, I'm going to be honest. It's really irritating. Please. Sorry.
Goose sent me the conversation with Adora. It was nothing long. Adora said, hey. Goose said, hey. Adora asked how he's been holding up. Goose said, fine. How are you? And Adora just said, getting my head back on straight. Nothing deep, nothing that significant, but clearly testing the waters, clearly trying to reach out, see who's accepting of Adora, see where she stands. So it's a very clear and deliberate like putting the toe in. Outside of that, I'm good. I'm done. I'm gonna go throw up now. If you guys need me, if you guys have any questions, if you have any concerns, comments, complaints, bitches, gripes, go ahead and reach out to me on Discord. If you don't have my Discord,
Right. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here and enduring this with us. This was not enjoyable in the slightest, and I'm truly sorry for the material that we have covered today. And if you choose to view the evidence, then I'm sorry in advance. For those who have already had access to the evidence and have the role, if you do want the role removed after viewing it, you can let me know on the channel called Evidence Role Removal Request. And if you are triggered by what you have seen, reach out to your loved ones or any organisations like Samaritans, for example. Give them a call. But otherwise, take care of yourselves, drink water, eat food, shower, take your meds, sleep, do whatever you have to do to keep yourselves here and happy. As I always say, the recording of this live will be posted to my YouTube ASAP, same username as my TikTok one, official LEKZ. And the Discord server is linked in my bio as the Squirrel Squad server. If you go to evidence verification and create a ticket, fill out the form, and then when your ticket is created, send your ID with only the date of birth and the picture showing, and I will grant you the role. Again, as loudly as I can say it, Adora does not represent us. I'm so sorry to anyone who previously saw them as a representative. Right, take care, everyone.
And everything like that, and I punched a hole in the wall. Obviously, I had to fix the fucking wall.
Watch your language, sir. Watch your language.
I punched a hole in the wall because I didn't want to put my hands on her. So I punched a hole in the wall, and then I ended up breaking my hand, and I had to get in the cast and everything.